Hi everyone, it's me and Cindy here. Welcome back to my channel. Since you all love Cindy so much, I thought to tell a bit of a life story with you. First of all, I want to thank you for caring so much about Cindy. We really appreciate it. I think Cindy, if she could understand the situation, she would also appreciate it a lot. So yeah, let me tell you a bit more about Cindy. So first of all, she's about almost 5 years older than me. So before I was born, she was already here. So my parents got her from the neighbor. So the neighbor called my mother and said, we found a baby baboon without a mother. I think if she knew how difficult and how naughty baboon could be to raise him, she might have thought different, but in that time she said yes, she took the challenge. Cindy was a very naughty child. She had to wear a diaper. She had to cut a little hole in it, and it wasn't the diapers we have today. It was the ones which you have to wash every time, like a cloth. So my mother had to wash it every time, put it back up, otherwise the whole house would be a mess if it wasn't for that diaper. When they got her first, she was small. She was still pink, the face, the hands. She was about, I think, 3-4 days old. So how it works is when a baby baboon is small, they only stay with their mother. They are very afraid to interact with the other baboons for the first few weeks. So she chose my mother, obviously, as her mother. She would cling to my mother everywhere. So if anybody else wanted to take her, she would scream like crazy. So they had to give her a bottle for a few months. She had to travel everywhere with them, to town, when they go on vacations. They used to call her their honeymoon baby because they just got her when they were on honeymoon. So yeah, she was very naughty. If I tell you a bit of her stories, it's quite funny. She would steal many food and stuff, and when my mother was searching for her because my mother had to discipline her. In the wild, they pinch each other or they bite them to teach the babies discipline. So my mother had to somehow discipline her. So my mother had to pinch her, and when she does naughty stuff, so she would hide behind the curtains, and then she knew she was naughty, and she would hide behind the curtains, and then just her toes will be sticking out. So that gave her away, and my mother would find her, and she would scream, run away. So until the age of 14, she would still steal food. There's no chance of you sitting here eating something that she won't take it. Only until 14 years she started to be relaxed. So up till then it was like having a 6-year-old child that's a naughty 6-year-old child. Yeah, so she was a handful. So by the time me and my brother arrived in the world, she was already about 5 years old, a young baboon, almost fully grown. So many people said we shouldn't interact too much with her because there have been stories that baboons, because they have such a motherly instinct, they would take human babies and stuff. But she was never like that. So she was always there for us. She knew it's my mother's babies, not hers. So she respected that. So ever since we were children, we would play with her a lot. Just here in our empty lake, there's some clay balls. And normally me and my brother would tease Cindy, and we would throw her that clay balls, and she would chase us. And she was very quick. She was faster than us. And she would tackle us like a rugby player, and she would discipline us. So she would bite us. She didn't have big canines, so it wasn't bleeding, but it was just to discipline us. And sometimes it would be a bit blue, but nothing major. And then we would obviously cry because we were a bit afraid. But then she would look you in the face, watch how your tears are falling. She could feel emotion, she could feel you're sad, and she would immediately start to groom you, like searching for ticks and stuff like this. And that was a sign of like showing she's sorry for what she did. So another funny story about Cindy when she was young and naughty is we once had some guest here. Cindy was outside his window each morning watching what he's doing, and he was taking his medication each morning. So there's one day when he left the window open, Cindy sneaked inside and she found the sweets. In her mind, she thought he was eating something. And she finished all of his medication. In the end, it was heart medication, prostate medication, and some of it that was bitter she spit out, but she finished it all. Luckily, there was only one day before the guest left back to Europe. But I think that's one of the reasons maybe why she's living so long now. Her heart is very strong. So one of the last things that Cindy stole, actually the two last things, the one was a wine bottle. So she stole it and she was running on 2 legs. And when we screamed, "Cindy, stop it!" she just dropped it on the ground. It was just glass everywhere. That was the second last. The last thing she stole was, she was in the house, and when she exited, we saw that she had something in her mouth. And she went all the way to go sit there far in the nature. And we were looking with the binoculars to see what she had in her mouth. And we saw it was very red. So we were wondering, what is so red? And when my mother came closer, she saw that it's lipstick. So she stole my mother's lipstick and she ate it all. Her whole mouth was red. So because the color is bright, she thought it might be sweets. Because if we give her sweets, she always take the red first, then the pink and the orange and yellow she eat last. So that was the last thing she stole, and that was probably when she was 14 years old. So ever since, she's well mannered. She can now sit next to you when you eat. She won't take your food. Only when you give the food to her, she will take it. Good table manners now, and that took 14 years to teach her. Cindy, are you awake? Are you awake? You can see she's a bit tired, the eyes is closing. And she grew up with wild animals, orphan animals that we got in since forever. So we had numerous different animals like meerkats, mongoose, especially warthogs a lot. Just after she got blind, we got Betsy and Benny, but just by the sounds of the warthogs and the shape and feeling, she could realize it's warthogs the moment we put the babies with her. So just by all the experience throughout the years, she knows exactly which animal is what. She have always been a big mother figure for all of the animals. And she still is, even though she's still blind, she still take care of them, very protective over them. So she is really a mother until this day, always. So regarding Cindy's health, she's in okay shape at the moment, but she obviously went through the naughty phase and then the adult life in her middle years, but now she's coming to the end of her life expectancy. Only the last few months she's been having a bit of a health issues and stuff, so her eyesight isn't there anymore. She's very sleepy, so I don't know if it's her heart that might be getting a bit weak or maybe other problems. We do get vets to check up on her regularly. Yeah, so she is, the reality is that she won't be there for much longer anymore. She's really old for her age. Probably one of the oldest in the world, maybe the oldest of her type at the moment. So every moment with her we cherish so much, and oh, I'm gonna get emotional. Yeah. Cindy. Slaap jy? Yeah, she really means a lot to us. She's been there forever, so I cannot imagine a life without her. So yeah, she's like a sister, a grandmother in the same way. So we really enjoy each moment with her, because we never know when might be the last time. So we have come to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. We really appreciate that you care so much about Cindy. We hope she's many more years with us and that you can enjoy watching her on my channels. And I'm looking forward to showing you more of my life here on the farm. And until next time we see you again. Cheers from me and Cindy. Cindy, wave at them. Bye. Wake up. Sleepy.